So while I know that this episode is all about the ignition system, I need to take the thermostat off because it's got a big crack in it, and I'll be able to show you that in a second, but I can see it clear as day here, huge crack, and I'm having it welded, and the opportunity has come up recently for me to get this fixed up. So we take something off. Well, it should just come off. Oh yeah. I think we're gonna need a mallet. Working on the car, I just realized that when I look over here, working on this dead cat, I just realized that my cat's dead. It just died. It died with... You're supposed to play dead, Mr. Push Push. Okay, so we're still hammering it off. I can't find a mallet, so maybe if we try a groovy screwdriver technique. No, not really. It's just flex. Do you see this flexing? That's the crack I'm talking about. It's pretty substantial. God, I'm just imagining banging my teeth into this when it comes off and not just fucking... Oh god, this is being welded before. Check that out. That's all a heavy weld right on the spout. This has been welded before. Damn. Must be no joke how hard it is to get parts for this engine. So, I don't know what to do, so I doused this in WD-40. I'm just scuffing up the aluminium surfaces by using a screwdriver. And I'm going to instead go back to what I'm here for, the ignition system. The ignition wires, and seeing what I need for these connections. I'm going to go to my parts store and see, not if they have a replacement distributor cab, because there's nothing wrong with this, but to see what ignition wire leads they can order or what they have. So I'll be right back. So what I'm doing now is I need to measure up some spark plug wires. So what I'm going to do is I've got some string and a pen. So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to take out some string. Nice continuous length of it, and just go like, okay, and then exit on the side here. Okay, yep, that's probably enough ignition wire. I'm going to pull out just a little bit more just to be safe, so I need that sort of length of ignition wire. Then I take my pen out and I mark the string, and from that point we go to the third and so on. And we can't forget about the ignition wire or the coil wire. Oh my god, this fucking string is tangling itself up. What the hell? Stop. Cunt. Muddy. Fuck off, cunt. So what we're left with is this much string worth of ignition cord. Wow, okay, that's a lot of ignition cord wire. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to see if I've got like enough wire here. Now, of course it's fucking windy. Fuck off, cunt. There we go. There's our first cylinder's worth of wire. I can count them. There's the second one, so that's cylinder 2 sorted. Now we're looking for the third one. There she is. And the fourth one. So we measure it the King Henry way, which is to say a yard is, that's the yard now. Well, we can easily do that. We can easily go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a bit. So we'll go 6.5, and that should be alright. And $5 a meter, it could be worse. Alright, so now I'm going to replace the spark plugs and put in some new NGK. So before I do that, I'm going to blow out each of these holes just just make sure that nothing falls back into the motor. Now with that out of the way, let's change the plugs around. There we go. Chuck that back in the spark plug box. Now we can move on to the next step. Spark plug wires. So I just got these yesterday. They've actually got the copper core in through these, so they're not your average spark plug wires. They actually have like a fiber conductive material. These actually still have like just a copper material here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to measure up each spark plug for the distributor, and here's a distributor cap, and I'll have to put this in temporarily just so I know all the lengths from the back of the intake, the back of the cylinder valley to the front here. So we go from the back of the cylinder to the front, and then go down to the distributor. Then we can cut the wire around here. So cut that in the center there. And we put on a new spark plug boot, which is for a motorcycle, by the NGKs. So for one of these, part number LBF. So we pop one of these off, and then we figure out how to do this. Look at that, marvelous. So then we just take one end of this. This is a screw fitting, this one. And just screw it into the tip of that. Then we slip the boot back over that. So that's slipped on. Then we take the other boot that's in the set, slip it over the spark plug. Maybe. I don't know. That's one lead done. And at the end of it, it should look like this. 6 boots, 6 wires, all roughly going to the distributor. So now we need to actually wire it to the distributor. And you're probably wondering, what's so hard about plugging in some things to the distributor? Well, it should just be plug and play, but no. It's a bit more of a bastard than that. You see, this is the original Lucas style distributor. A replacement distributor for one of these 420Gs. Rather expensive and come from the UK, and I don't want to do that, especially since I've already got a distributor to fit. So the whole point of getting specialized leads and plugs and plumbing it all myself was the simple fact that I want to keep using this because it's still intact and still in serviceable condition. So the primary difference between this distributor and another distributor is that they have screw-in caps. So you got to screw them out, and inside the caps are little washers. So how these work is that you're actually supposed to take a cap off. You take a cap off, you sleeve it over a wire, you then feed the wire, the bare copper part, through a washer, and then bend over the wire, and then bend over the wire over the washer. You then bring your cap back up, put it into the distributor, and screw the cap down. And that's one wire done. It's not coming out. So we do that about 7 more times, including the coil, to get a fully plumbed electrical system. And by the end of it, you should come out with something like this. All the spark plug wires, all screwed together in here. I didn't have enough copper washers that came with this, so I had to use some like small nuts and things like that. But essentially, you're just wrapping the wire around one of those nuts or washers, then screwing one of these caps down against it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to check the continuity between the contacts and the ends of the leads, and if it all comes out good, we'll install this back onto the car. So it's a bit of a snake pit, I know, but you can put one end of a multimeter into the spark plug cap, and then you can put one end of the lead to this to its appropriate cylinder, and yep. And there we have it. We have continuity between one of the plugs. So I'll go ahead and check the rest of the plugs, make sure that the contacts are going straight to the end of the plugs for each cylinder, and yeah, we'll go from there. So when you're plumbing all this, it's 153624 is the ignition sequence on pretty much every 6-cylinder motor. And so, but what you got to remember is that's number 1 cylinder and that's number 6 cylinder. It's back to front on a Jaguar, unlike everything else, which makes that cylinder number 1 and that cylinder number 6. It's 1, 6, other cars 1, 6. And the distributor turns counterclockwise in this application. So when you're plumbing it, it's 153624. I think Chrysler's turn the same way, like the Hemi 6s turn the same way, but I can't really remember. It doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter. And to test this, I'm going to quickly turn over the engine to see which way the distributor pointer turns. Just as I thought, it spins counterclockwise, so I plumbed the distributor correctly. Woo! First one we'll do is the coil lead. That's in, sweet. Then we start plumbing. So, cylinder number 1. Oh, that's fucking messy. Look at that. These spark plug wires are horrible. I hate this. I really, really do. 1, 5, 3, 6. I really hate this. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to zip tighten it because I'm setting it in stone. I don't know if this is the right order, right spark plug order, but I'm going to zip tie it anyway. So I need a little bit more space because I'm sort of like, my back hurts. So just sitting in the engine bay to help with that back stress, you know. Probably don't want to do it in a car you'd like or is nice, but it's alright. I like this car and I do it anyway, which is groovy. So I was checking the voltages last night, and I'm getting power to the distributor and getting power everywhere. I had someone else crank the engine while I grounded it on the head here. I wasn't able to capture it on video, but they do spark. Every single one of these cylinders spark, and it's all got good connections down there. That red wire that I put on is doing the right thing. There's a little bit of smoke coming out underneath the distributor, going to, because there's like a contact plate where that spade connector goes into the distributor, and there's a wire that goes from there to the points inside, and that was smoking up because of a bad or loose connection. I think the solder joints must have dried and cracked and whatever, so it's fixed now. I resoldered it, and it's getting power where it needs to be, and it's not melting itself apart from amperage. So that's all good. So ignition wise, it's pretty much done. I still haven't been able to get this thermostat housing off. I've been in isolation, so I can't leave the house and buy a butane torch or whatever I need to heat up these bolts and slide this off. So that'll be for another day. I'm gonna have to miss the boat on getting that welded. But for now, well, for the next episode, we're going to look at getting fuel up to the filter. Not fuel in the carbs, fuel in the filter. So we'll be looking at fuel pump, fuel tank, fuel lines, and getting it all to the front of the car. The carburetors will be their own special deal on their own. So thank you very much for watching.